Okay, so hi honeys, how are you? Tanya ni Shylock here, and of course, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you guys? I hope that you are fine, amazing, popping. Welcome back to another episode. So as you have seen from the thumbnail to the title of today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the true cost of living in Kampala, Uganda for 2022 and 2023. Since the last one I made, I think that was back then in 2020, things have changed a lot due to the footstep that COVID has left in the whole world, but specifically also in Uganda. And according to the last vlog I did do on the cost of living in Kampala, Uganda, a lot of people asked me to please translate the transactions in Ugandan currency to at least dollars or euros. So this vlog in particular is going to be in dollars specifically for every other topic I'm going to be talking about. Yes, before I dive into today's vlog, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share out with friends and family, and let's just dive into it right now. I have divided up everything into 5 different things to simplify, the process. I'm gonna be talking about food, rent, transport, others, and fun. Yes, but before that, I want to also recognize that the average salary over Ugandan, the lowest salary over Ugandan monthly, that is around 102 US dollars. That is around 500 something Ugandan shillings, and the maximum is around 2 million Ugandan shillings. That is around 500 to something like 555 US dollars. And also, I want to recognize that here in Kampala, Uganda, the salary or the minimum salary of a person is not hourly. Yes, it is at least daily. So we don't do it like in the Western world where every other hour that you are going to be doing a particular job, you are going to be paid a particular amount. Here it is in terms of a day. It might have started here, but it's not so common, at least from my own experience. So you guys, actually this brings me to the first topic, which is rent. So in Kampala here, rent can be slightly expensive and slightly cheap according to which division you are in. And the first thing I would recommend that when you are looking out for either a studio apartment or you are looking out for a house, just make sure that it is within a particular division of Kampala you are going to be working in. Okay, because it's going to be important to cut off the costs of transportation, especially when you are living from another district to come in Kampala to work, or from another division to come into another division to work. Yes, so the simplest way or the simplest option I can secure you, it is about getting a flat or flat sharing. Flat sharing, that is around 2 people. You can share a flat for around 102 US dollars a month. Yes, and if you need a studio apartment, a single room apartment here in Kampala, Uganda, that would be around 55 to something like 100 US dollars. And for a single bedroom apartment, that would be also around 100 to 100 something like 35 US dollars. Yes, but I know that some people of course have a little bit of coins, so you can also go in and you rent a full house, if that works for you and it works for your budget. But also that is also another option I've already given to you. You can look into sharing a room with another person or sharing an apartment with another person, and you can vividly cut down the costs of rent. Sometimes bills can actually come with the apartment, while other times you have to actually pay the bills singly or in their full bits. So for water, a month, that might run you from around $3 to $4 basing on how much water you are using. And then for electricity, that would be also around, because currently we have Yaka, these mini meters that actually you can load on yourself. A month, if you are a single person or two people in the house, that would be around $4 to $6 or $7 again, based on how much you are using the electricity. Then if it comes to what I think I've already talked about water. Internet, it's a little bit expensive here in Kampala, Uganda. You can count that from around 10 to 45 US dollars, based on the internet server or provider you are going to be using. We have Airtel, AfriCell, Leica Mobile, Smile, and all those other options. And then lastly, it would be around house taxes. So housing taxes most of the time are included onto the general rent you are going to be paying to your particular landlord. This actually brings me to the next subtopic, which is transportation. So here in Kampala, Uganda, we have a variety of transportation such as buses, taxis, Ubers, trains, and all those other stuff. But I would recommend that if you're a new person here in Kampala, Uganda, you try often to use an Uber, because I just feel like it's a little bit safe, you know, for a person who's new in the country. And also we have taxis, and the taxis actually we have, they are completely different from the taxis elsewhere. Taxis tend to be very, very slow, especially in the morning and evening hours, you know, because that is, I think, most of the time that people are rushing back home. It's a very, very critical rush hour. But you can also opt for boda boda. So taxi fares, most of the time I say that they are negotiable based on the area that you are going to be transporting yourself. For example, you might moving from Division A to Division B, that would be around $1 to $3 using a taxi. And then if you are moving to a slightly further division from the division you are in, count something like $4 to $5. And then for boda boda, that is the best option I would recommend you to use, especially in the rush hours. It is very fast, it is very instant, and it is also negotiable with the person who's going to be taking you using that boda boda. Most of the time their fares start from around $1 to $6-7, also basing on the negotiation you are going to be talking with that person. We also have currently trains. They have also started operating, but they are the slowest means of transportation here in Kampala, Uganda. And if you're a person who is on a very, very, time scheduled kind of program, I would not recommend you to use that train, though it is very, very much cheaper than all the options I've talked about earlier on. But lastly, I would also love to talk about cycling, using a bicycle. It is also a vividly popular kind of means of transportation here in Kampala. If you can buy as a bicycle run from around $20 to $50. They have started being a little bit expensive these days, due to COVID and all that. You can decide to venture into that. It is free. It is like you move to every part of the Kampala with just cycling, and I just think that is very, very efficient. I would love to also mention that Kampala is not the safest place. It is very, very important, especially when you are traveling, when you are moving from point A to point B, to be very mindful of the people around you, to be very mindful of the things you are doing and people who are trying to interact with you. Because at the end of the day, security is good and around, but I think it starts with you. This brings me to the next subtopic, which is food. So food is slightly cheap here in Kampala. You can get food for as cheap as $1. Yes, you can get food as cheap as $1. I had to just repeat that to make sure that I, confront to the concrete of the point. But yes, that is it. And you can plan meals. Yes, you can plan meals. You can go out and buy food. You can cook for yourself, because most of the time, especially when I was living in, those sides of Kawempe, I would try to cook for myself. And most of the time, even I would, cook food to school, cook food to work. That is when I had a part-time job. So you can cook for yourself, and you can actually save a lot of money when it comes to cooking for yourself. But also you can buy street food. Street food ranges from around $3 to something like $5. Then if you want to eat from a slightly fancy kind of restaurant, that would be around 10 to up to even $100. Yes, so food is very, very cheap, and it doesn't have to scare you in one way or another. You can also get food from a relatively expensive kind of restaurants for around $10 to $15. A very, very full meal. I'm talking about a very, very full meal. And also for a beer, for people who take beer, that would be around $5 to $6. For a cup of coffee, that would be around $3 to $9, based on the cafe and area you are going to be taking your tea from. cold water or mineral water, that would be around $1 to $2. This brings me to the next subtopic, which happens, I think, to be the last one, which is fun. So fun depends on one person to another. I enjoy music concerts, another person might enjoy golf, another person might enjoy a lot of other different things. Again, fun is not that expensive based on the area you are going to be venturing into. I'll give my example. For example, for me, music concerts for a relatively very, very famous band, for example, the Afrigo band here in Kampala, Uganda, that would run you around something like 10 to something like 15 to $20. Then for a relatively, famous musician, that would be around 10, 9 or 8 US dollars. Then there are a lot of other different sources of fun, beaches, bars. But calculatively, to talk about all those in terms of cost, you have to just prepare something like 5 to 10 US dollars. Festivals, carnivals, museums. Actually, let me also clarify this very, very well. If you're a person who is new in Kampala here and you are actually on a budget, I would recommend that you visit a lot of museums here in the country. They are very, very cheap to actually visit. You just pay something like, I think, 3 to 5 US dollars, to just visit and see and get a person who's going to be touring you around. On top of that, you can also look into the option of visiting zoos, wildlife centers, especially here on Entebbe Road. Some of them, I know that they are in the northern and western part of the country, but you can also find recreation centers for as cheap as 5, 6 US dollars. So that would also be a very, very good source of fun. So you can also look into that instead of spending 30 to 50 or 100 US dollars actually on visiting something that is not going to create for you a lot of good memories, and you can venture into something like that. This brings me to the last one. I promise this is the last one. This is others. Yes. In others, I would love to talk about things such as clothing. We have expensive areas you can actually go and buy clothing, and slightly cheaper areas that you can actually go and buy clothing. So the cheapest ones you can find, especially markets, or we know Nachivubo markets. You can find Chibuye, Nakasero. Most of those markets actually, they have sections where they are selling slightly cheaper clothing, so you can also look into that. Then slightly expensive areas that you can actually go and buy clothing. We have Nabukeda Plaza, Pentagon Building, Skylight Arcade. There are a couple of them, very many in fact, not a couple of them, but actually very, very many. And for a jacket, you can find that at around 10 to something like 20 US dollars. And then a shirt at around 5 to 10 US dollars. Pair of pants can also go from around 10 to something like 25 US dollars. And dresses around 10 US dollars, and I think that is also a little bit reasonable when it comes to slightly expensive areas to get clothing. For the cheap areas, actually, like Owina, I've not talked about that, but you can find clothing as cheap as 1.50 cents and above. Yes. That is the cheapest area that actually you can find clothing of all different kinds. Jackets, sweaters, t-shirts, shirts, and all that. So as I conclude or summarize up this vlog, I would love to say that just make sure that you make the most out of your salary. Don't spend money on things that are not in your budget. Try your best so that you budget. Although you are living on a minimum wage salary, you can also have fun actually, and you can adapt as the process goes on. If you feel like you cannot be able to attend to very, very expensive concerts, that is it for fun, you can also sit at home and watch TV. Most of those concerts are actually broadcasted live. Yes, on television, different channels of television. And also, if you don't have money to eat in a very fancy restaurant, side road restaurants are also available. You can also go there, eat your meal at a very, very responsible price as per your pocket, and life goes on, And if you are the opposite of that, you can also spend your money on things that are also in your budget. Yes, so thank you very much for watching this vlog. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share out with friends and family. Let me meet you in the next vlog. Tanya and Shylock switching out. Bye for now.